What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful people of the Crasher community? How are you guys doing today? We're back with a new video on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning on in, you absolute legends. And ladies and gentlemen, it is Pokemon Go time. Well, Pokemon Go discussion time. So let's go ahead and let's open up this can of worms here. So this topic here mainly revolves around the new and improved, air quotes, terms of service in Pokemon Go. Now, to give you guys a better understanding of, well, let's just say a mixed reception when it comes to this updated terms of service, we first have to go through this article here. Pokemon Go players warn fans about agreeing to new private arbitration agreement. Now, what we have here are the highlights of this article, which kind of sum everything up without the nitty-gritty details. Pokemon Go fans are wary of new terms of service restricting their rights to sue Niantic or have a trial. An opt-out option is available within 30 days. By agreeing to the new terms of service, players must go through Niantic's informal dispute resolution system or arbitration by NA&M if disputes arise and lose class action rights. Pokemon Go fans are skeptical about agreeing to the revamped terms of service that was recently rolled out, which restricts all disputes between users and Niantic to be settled only by its own informal dispute resolution system or a private arbitration company. This essentially not only strips a Pokemon Go player's rights to sue Niantic in court or have a trial, but also waives all class and non-individualized relief. The past few months haven't been the best for Pokemon Go fans. While the game has had its moments with some exciting events, players have been disappointed with the recent Pokemon Go updates. Amid that, Niantic's latest move has once again concerned the community. In a new post on the Pokemon Go subreddit, user DaringDanny123 explains why users should opt out of the new Niantic terms of service. If players agree to the revamped terms of service, they will have to file any disputes to Niantic directly. They will need to follow the new informal dispute resolution process, which requires them to either send a notice by email or regular mail, after which a conference will be set up for settlement. If the informal dispute resolution is unable to settle the dispute within 45 days, then they can proceed to arbitration, which will be binding. The arbitration will be handled by the National Arbitration and Mediation, which earlier used to be the American Arbitration Association. Additionally, by agreeing to the terms of service, players waive their constitutional and statutory rights to sue Niantic in court. It is further added that the users cannot have a trial in front of a judge or a jury. Last but not least, the terms of service also include a waiver of class and all other non-individualized relief. This essentially means that users can only bring claims as individuals, and no kind of relief will be awarded on a class or collective basis. The good news is that players can choose to completely opt out of this agreement. However, there is a catch. After agreeing to the terms of service, users only have 30 days to opt out of the private arbitration agreement. To do so, players will need to send a notice to terms of service at NianticLabs.com stating that they want to opt out. One must only send the notice as an individual, and it is mandatory to provide the user's name, address, and the email address used to sign up for the Niantic account. It is crucial to note that players have reported that opting out of this arbitration agreement still makes the rest of the terms of service binding, and players have reported that it doesn't have any effect on the game whatsoever. While many were expecting the recent Pokemon Go update to address bugs and glitches, the revamped terms of service has caught fans off guard. In fact, some are already speculating if some incident compelled Niantic to make such drastic changes. Okay, so before we go any further with the main point of the video here, holy shit, this is huge. This is absolutely no surprise whatsoever as to why people are not unhappy with this. And not just unhappy, but concerned as well. Imagine having to agree to terms of service in which you end up waiving your constitutional and statutory rights to pursue Niantic legally. Like, that is pretty damn big. And what's even more about this is that on top of what I have just said, any disputes that you have regarding Pokemon Go is going to be handled by Niantic directly, and you know how often they fumble the ball. Oh, but guys, this isn't the only reason as to why people are upset with the new terms of service. There is actually a lot more to this. So this is essentially a summary of the changes to the terms of service, and there are a lot of areas of concern. It essentially can be summed up further by saying that Niantic wipes their hands clean of anything to do with their players and what could go wrong. Even if it isn't your fault or beyond your control, Niantic won't care. There are a lot of areas here that can be up for interpretation, and without proper clarity or care to handle situations, things can go south very quick. For instance, your account can be banned without notice. Now, it's one thing if you get warnings on something, but if you get unceremoniously banned and no explanation, that is where a problem can occur. The waiving your rights to pursue Niantic is fucking absurd if I haven't already said it. The refunds bit can go either way. If you make a purchase and then you want a refund, even though what you purchased is the same as when you first made the purchase, I can more or less understand the no refunds part. But let's say you make a purchase to an event or something rather sizable, and then there are changes made that makes it seem less than what it was before, less desirable. Unfortunately, you can't refund it. But don't worry, it gets better. Niantic is not liable for any damages or losses. So, wait a second here. This could be left up to a wide interpretation. Say if someone loses their account to a hacker, and all of their stuff gets deleted by the hacker, Niantic won't help that player because they're now not liable for any damages or losses. But didn't they do a favor for an influencer that got hacked some time ago? I think there are extenuating circumstances that should require proper intervention, fairness, and fixes. The removal of money and goods without liability is also scary because that means they can tamper your account without you knowing or being able to do anything about it. Alternatively, it also shows that they can actively access your account. And it kind of goes back to the instance of if you had your account hacked and stolen, they can do something about it, but thanks to their new TOS, they won't. These 2 points I'm about to address kind of go hand in hand here. You assume all risks associated with attending the event, and Niantic can change event features or cancel events without compensation. These two are big. So imagine you purchase an event. You prepare ahead of time with all of the costs for flights, hotels, etc. And on the day of the event, you get there and then it's canceled. Now, isn't that a slap in the face, or several? Or how about you get there and let's say an external crisis happens and it causes the event to be compromised. I say that in reference to how nutto the world is right now. It's insane how these terms of services are essentially just Niantic trying to cover their asses further by demonstrating they won't take accountability and won't stick up for their players for when things go wrong and when they change things on a dime. And this doesn't even account for all of the other things that can go wrong in the game. Let's say there's a special raid event that happens that involves the release of a new shiny Pokemon. You spend 20 raid passes and come to find out they forget to turn on the shiny rates, which has happened before. You spend 20 passes on what was essentially a defective event. They can tell you to go kick rocks and not compensate you for it. And on the note of Niantic forgetting to activate something important during an event, we have ourselves this from Gratin. They forgot to activate the special background on the 13th when Beast Balls and remote passes were used, at least in Japan. People asking Niantic for apologies, but they've been ignoring and instead changed TOS so they don't get sued for not giving a chance to get what they advertised. That is a big time oof right there. Now, there is a lot more to discuss when it comes to the terms of service, and if I was to do a full in-depth breakdown on everything to do with the new terms of service, we would be here until the next morning, but I wanted to highlight a few areas of concern, as well as talk about why people are not liking this, and why I would definitely recommend opting out of the new terms of service, because it is complete and utter trash. But as always, when it comes to videos like these, I am just giving my own thoughts, opinions, and analysis on the subject presented in the video. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with my takes? Do you disagree with my takes? And what do you guys think overall about what we discussed here in this video? That's it for the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time as well in viewing this video. Have yourself a damn good one, you beautiful people. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Remember to always stay humble and avoid sewing it up like a Wojak. I'll see you guys next time.